Hi, it's Chip Eston from Nashville. Welcome to the Ask Anything Chat with Cody Allen from CMT. We just finished up our Season 3 premiere this past Wednesday, and now Chaley and Will and I are ready to ask each and every one of your questions. Let's start with the first one here. Venice from Los Angeles asks, how was it working with Florida-Georgia line? Well, it was pretty unbelievable. After a great episode where we got to do 2 live songs, you get to finish off with Florida-Georgia line. That was awesome. Those guys came in here, and from the very first time we rehearsed, they made it very cool. They brought with them a stripped-down version of Dirt, a real Bluebird-type version, let me play a little guitar on that, and that was a pinch-me moment, sort of sitting there. I love that song, and I love the guys. They're good guys. Second question is from Tiana in the Netherlands. From the Netherlands, and she wants to know, where did you learn your amazing acrobatic and dancing skills? It's probably clear to anyone that's seen me do either, on Whose Line Is It Anyway, that I had absolutely no training. That was all just in me. It's something that I sort of had to let out. I, at one point, was going to give my life to the dance, but I chose not to for obvious reasons. That's just me sort of doing what I can on stage when I have to. But thanks for the question. Joanna from Houston says, how did you get your gig on Nashville? Boy, that's a long, multi-part question, but I will say the coolest thing is one of my best friends in the world, a buddy named Ben, he saw this role first, and he called me up and he says, you got to get in on this role of Deacon Claiborne on this show, Nashville. I heard that name, Deacon Claiborne, I was already sold. I wanted to be part of it. By the time I read the script, man, I really wanted it so badly. I knew it was going to be hard because it was such a good one on a network show. I was hoping that being able to play guitar and sing would help me a little bit, and it did, but it was still a long, tough road till I finally got to show up and get to work. I saw Hayden Panettiere at one of my auditions, and she couldn't have been sweeter. When I walked out the door, she was clapping because she thought the song sounded good, and I was sort of blowing hot air, and I said, well, I'll see you on the set. I was pretty much joking around, but she never lets me forget that one day we both showed up, and I did indeed see her on the set. Amy from Charlotte wants to know what it was like watching the season premiere. Well, Amy, I was there doing it live, so I didn't really get to watch like everyone else who were busy trying to handle business to do the live song at the end of the night. I'll watch it another time, I imagine, but I've seen a few of them. It was kind of cool to be doing it live, so I'll take that any day. Caitlin from Calgary says, what's your favorite song you performed on Nashville? Well, it moves, it changes show to show. For a long time, my favorite has been, it's just such a great one by Sarah Siskin and Ashley Monroe called A Life That's Good. It's been on our show a couple times. Deacon wrote it long ago. And then Maddie found it and started playing herself. Then Deacon sang it with Maddie. And then eventually he sang it with Raina and Maddie and Daphne. And that song's about how you don't need a whole lot in life to get by and to be happy, to have a life that's good. Just a few important things. And if you have those, you'll make it. That's been a favorite for a long time. But I do have to say now that I've been able to sing one of my own, a song I wrote with Dina Carter, I Know How to Love You Now. That might be up there too. Not just because I think it's a great song, which I do, but I just feel real fortunate to have gotten to do that. Eli from Columbus says, do you have any of your own music coming out separate from the show? I've been so fortunate to write with some great writers in this town. I do that constantly. I just want to keep gathering songs and keep getting better and better at that. And then absolutely, I want to do something eventually. I'm not sure what it'll be, but I'll let everybody know as soon as it happens, especially on CMT. I got time for one more right here. Jesse from Eagle Pass wants to know, how many days or weeks does it take to film one episode of Nashville? It takes about 3 weeks to do 2 episodes, so about 8 days. And we work not every single day of the cast, but the crew is the best in the world, and they work every single day making the best show they can. The final question, I'll do one more, is will the cast be touring anytime soon? Again, we toured this last summer, some of us. They want to know, Jada from Old Tappan, or Tappan? I'm not sure. Wants to know if we're going to be doing any future touring. All I can say is I don't know yet because we're knee-deep in making this show as good as it can. But I sure hope so, because there's nothing we like more than getting out there away from the quiet of the set to the place where the fans can get loud and can get crazy and can show the Nashville love, the love that they have for this show and for these characters. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it. So we hope we get back out there and see you again real soon. Thanks for your questions. Thanks for coming to the chat, and I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time on CMT or on Nashville.
Thanks, Chip. Great questions for your segment. I also want to say thank you to Cody Allen, CMT, and as Chip said, you can catch Nashville on Wednesdays on ABC. Okay. Let's see. Sarah from Springfield. Oh, crap. Let's start again. Come on. Well,
to take chase. That's what I call them.
Thanks, Chip. Great questions for your segment. I also want to say thank you to Cody Allen, CMT, and as you know, you can catch Nashville Wednesday night, ABC. All right. Let's see. My first question, Lionel from Mason City. Which artists inspire me the most? Well, the Beatles. My favorite, I'm a big Rush geek. Rush is a rock band from Toronto. I don't know if you know they're there. Living. No, they're living. Rush is living. And two of the Beatles are living. Artists that inspire me the most. Country-wise, George Strait is one of those, quintessential, man, if I could be him. If Luke could be him, that would be pretty amazing. Acting-wise, I'm going to go with the quintessential De Niro and Pacino. Come on, you throw on Godfather, that's got to be inspiring. So watch that later. Pam from Scotland. Which characters could you see? No. Which characters could you see? No. Which characters would you like to see your own characters have relationships with? The two living Beatles? No. I would like to see Jonathan Jackson, who plays Avery, but I see him in the makeup chair. So I'd like to have a relationship with him. Who else? Sam Pilati. Basically everybody that don't have scenes with. And then the two living Beatles. Thank you, Pam from Scotland. Natalie from Orlando. What was your audition process like to get on the show? I got a call from my agent saying they were adding a new character. I can't remember if it was Luke Wheeler. I can't remember if the name was Luke Wheeler then. I should look that up. Or call many people who would know. And so I read some scenes. A buddy of mine from Smash, Christian Borrell, who was my cohort on the show, put me on tape in his living room. And then they called back later that day and said, we love a tape. Can you sing a song for us? So then my girlfriend in our living room with the iPad was giving you cinematography, and I was singing a song and playing. And then later on that weekend, I got the call and said, you have to fly to Nashville tomorrow and start filming. So that's how that worked. That was a lot of fun. Stephanie from Pittsburgh, what songs are you listening to frequently right now? Well, if you turn on the radio country any station, you're going to hear Drunk on a Plane, which I am frequently. I'm not. I like Blake's new song. I'm still, I'm a metal fan. So I'm at the gym. It's Metallica. And that's about it, Olivia from Portland. What has been your favorite episode of the series so far? Well, I can't tell you about the ones that I've shot this year, which are fun. I think my favorite last year was my Ball and Chain episode with Connie. It was fun to get to do that concert. And I think we found a lot about my character and what the trajectory was going to be. When I first started the show, they didn't know how long I was going to be here. In fact, I think I was only going to be here for 5 or 7 episodes like that. And then things changed, and I got to stick around. So that was a big epic episode written by David Gould. It was amazing. And so it was just a lot of fun. I got to work a lot, got to shoot every day, so that was a lot of fun. Mia from Chicago. What do you guys do during your downtime on set? When we're actually on set, in front of the camera, we goof off. So we pretty much goof off a lot. If Oliver Hudson, who plays the mean, evil Jeff Fordham, is around, we get absolutely nothing accomplished. It's a very long day because we like to laugh a lot. And he and I have an apartment here together, so it's just mayhem. But we, as a cast, tend to hang out. We see each other a lot at the Opry, different venues around town, which doesn't happen a lot in television. So hanging out with each other is a lot of fun, and we do it a lot. Daniel from Memphis. Do you think that Nashville will be a huge... do you think that Nashville will be as big of a show as when you first signed on? Yeah, it was pretty epic when I got here, So when I joined, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm part of this. And then you come to the city and you realize that people love this show. it's awesome to shoot here and be here. There's an authenticity that's amazing, but it's huge. And then you're walking through, name an airport in any city in the country, and people are like, "Hey, Luke!" And you're like, "Oh my gosh, people like watch this. It's amazing. It's fun." I mean, I'm very fortunate and very blessed. And so I guess the short answer would be, I didn't realize it'd be that big a deal, but I'm a huge, huge deal. Pauline from Austin. What artist would you love to have do a guest appearance on the show that hasn't yet? Both living Beatles. I think George Strait might come on and be my uncle. Maybe like, Perry Mason. Oh, that's a fictitious person. It'd be fun to have Tim and Faith on, party at their place. That'd be pretty cool. Rodney Atkins and I have a bromance that we started on Twitter. I've not met the guy yet, but I think we could work that in, that Luke's best friend is Rodney. We hang out. We go on a tractor. We just doing whatever. We sang together, and we just hang out. Just hang out, drinking beer. That sounds like a good episode, doesn't it? I don't have to do that. Okay. Emily from Kansas City. Yeah. Kansas City, here I come. We're a huge fan. Well, Emily, this is from one person, but she's speaking like she's royal we. We're a huge fan of country music. Oh, I get it. This is a typo. Thanks, guys. Were you a huge fan of country music before you started on Nashville? Takes all kinds. Huge fan of bluegrass. More so of country in the last few years. I know people like to say, "Oh, where country's headed." It's all a big, fluid, living, breathing thing. I love where country is. I love where country's been. I love where it's headed. The true artists will outlive. They'll have longevity. I'm not a huge fan before the show, but a huge fan now. I've got to say that or they'll kill me right after this. Okay. Oh, okay. Hey, thanks again for all your questions and for Cody Allen. Damn it. Thanks again for all your questions and to Cody Allen and CMT for having me. Watch Nashville every Wednesday on ABC. It is now my pleasure to pass it over to Chaley. Enjoy.
Thank you, Will. My name is Chaley. And don't forget, you can watch Nashville every Wednesday on ABC. Thank you, Cody, Allen, and CMT for letting us answer these questions today. Okay, first question, Svet from Norway. Does it feel weird seeing yourself on TV, or do you get used to it? It's always weird, but it's fun. But also sometimes I critique myself a little too harshly. Yeah? Okay, next. This is going to be awkward. Jennifer from Knoxville. What's one misconception you had of country music before doing the show? Before being in Nashville and seeing the music that happens in the city, I had this idea that everyone in Nashville was doing what the country artists on the radio are doing, and there's actually a lot of Americana roots and rock kind of mixed in with the country here, which is really great. Some of the best music I've ever heard. Natalie from Fort Worth, what's your favorite Southern comfort food? Chicken and biscuits. It's amazing. With gravy. Matt from Duxbury, which artists inspire you the most in your regular life? I love Sting. Sting After the Police. He's probably my favorite artist. And then different artists in Nashville are actually pretty inspired. I've been listening to Ryan Adams lately. He's great. Stacy from Washington, D.C. Do you prefer TV over movies or movies over TV? I don't think I have a preference because I love sitcoms and I love science fiction and fantasy movies. So I guess it just depends on what I'm in the mood for that day. Alex from Atlanta, who has been your favorite artist to come to set and guest star? I have gotten to work with Derek Huff and Alexa Vega, and they're both really sweet and really fun. Derek dances in between takes, as you might imagine being from Dancing with the Stars. So that's fun. Holly from Seattle, what was the audition process like for you? I came into the room and I sang a song. I had to sing 4 bars of a song. And then I actually did an audition reading sides with the casting director, who then immediately brought Callie Curry into the room. She happened to be down the hall, and I sang for her and auditioned for her as well. And then I got the part the next day. Great. Hannah from Melbourne, but you say Melbourne, right? What do you do to prepare for each show taping? I like to be very organized, and I read through the episode, and as I read, I pull out my scenes, and I use the brads through the hole punches, put them back together, and I do have a process where I create a moment before, what happened before the scene started, and a lot of notes and character thoughts between the lines, just kind of what a natural thought process would be in the scene. And then I actually coach with an acting coach. I have one in New York that I like to work with, and one here on set, which is nice. Nicole from Iowa, is there one particular season that you like the best? Well, I do love season 2 because it's when I joined the show. But I do think season 1 has a different feel and some really great music. Some of the best songs are in the first season. Cindy from Mobile, have you always loved country music, or did it take you being on Nashville to find a liking for it? I am from southern Indiana, so I grew up always hearing country music. It wasn't something that I listened to until I was in high school, and I just happened to be watching CMT and realized how much I actually liked what I was hearing, and that's when I first started listening to country music. Oh, done. Big thanks to Cody, Allen, CMT, and Big Machine, ABC, and all of our amazing fans. Be sure to watch the second episode of Nashville this Wednesday on ABC. Thank you.